Hey guys, it's me, Kisame Unlimited, and today I'm going to be doing a questions and answers. I needed to come up with a video for today, and one of my video projects were a little fucked up, so I said, you know what, I'm going to do a questions and answers. I noticed that Spidey did one a couple of weeks ago, and I said, you know what, if he did one by himself, I should do one by myself. So I left a status on the Facebook page, and a few of you people commented on it, so I'm going to basically answer the questions that I was given. I'm going to leave this all as one big clip. So I'm probably not going to edit this, so this is going to be my full-on stumbling on words and really sad reactions, so you're going to all see how bad my grammar is. Okay, so we got about 40 comments. Okay. How do you feel about Konami making more and more decks that are focused around synchro summoning? I honestly don't feel like that's true. I feel like Konami's always had a healthy, steady rate of XYZ synchros, fusions, and everything else, like with pendulums. I always felt like I don't feel like it's all synchros. I don't feel like that at all. I feel like synchros haven't gotten much at all, actually. Alright, so question number 2. What Yu-Gi-Oh monster is your spirit animal and why? My spirit animal in Yu-Gi-Oh! I want to say... What's an annoying card that's just like in your face every minute? That's just like, ugh, why is he back? I feel like I'm Treeborn Frog in that sense, because it's like no matter what, I'm always there and I'm always annoying, and I'm just that annoying thing that you just want to get off the field. So I think maybe Treeborn Frog would probably be my guess. Okay. What do you guys think about Jack Atlas? I just feel like he's a lot like Kaiba, and I feel like he's like a show-off. Maybe in some which way I'm like Jack Atlas. I don't really know. I don't have a problem with Jack Atlas. I found his hair to be a little silly. Speaking of hair, I need to get a haircut. I look like a mess. Next, how do you feel about Minerva being a prize card? I don't mind it. I actually think it was neat that they did that, because I don't really like how the last YCS prize cards have just been shitty cards. I think Giant Hand was pretty shitty. I thought Blood Mephis was pretty shitty. The Dark Lords were pretty shitty. And I feel like at least Minerva is a card that everyone physically needs. And I kind of feel like, well, that plays Light Swarms. And I feel like that's pretty neat. And I think it would make people think it's valuable. And Light Swarm players would feel like it's the greatest thing in the world. And I think that that's pretty fun. Okay, next. Hi, Kisame. I was wondering, what card do you have to say is the most broken in the game? The most broken card in the game. It's probably JD, because JD could just hop on the field and just blow up everything at the cost of visibly nothing, and being able to attack directly and leaving you just to be able to special summon everything else from your hand and just go for game. So yeah, I'd probably say JD. What do you believe is the most broken special summon XYZ fusion, pendulum, or synchro? I don't know if he's saying which one individually is broken, because XYZ, in my opinion, the best XYZ is definitely Gaga Cowboy, because being able to win games with it, and when you push your opponent's life points to a certain degree, and you could basically, like, alright, I got you under a certain amount, now you automatically lose. It makes the game pretty dangerous when you have little life. Okay, then Fusion, on the other hand, the best Fusion... probably Thousand Eyes Restrict, but best fusion. It's probably a fucking Shaddoll. I'd probably say a Shaddoll because I hate Shaddolls. I'd probably say Winda. Being able to lock your opponent that they can't do anything. Pendulum. I don't know. I don't think any pendulums are really that good. I don't know. Qwilfort Scout. He's like a simple +1 that's each turn, so Qwilfort Scout. And Synchro. The best Synchro. Probably Breezel, because Breezel's like, you can't touch him with anything. Yeah, probably Breezel. Breezel's probably the best synchro. Okay, next. When it comes to old cards / archetypes getting new support, do you prefer Konami making the archetype better, just off of the originals, and to fix the flaws with the original archetype Uh, hmm. Yeah. I feel like, because you want to know what it is, it's that Konami makes like all these old archetypes and then they leave them hanging and they leave them with like the shittiest support ever, and they could get such a huge boost in their realm and Konami doesn't give it to them. Like a good example is Monarchs. Monarchs are getting a new structure deck at the moment, but Monarchs, when they first came out, they had no dependence. They had to depend on other decks like frogs and ghost tricks and other shit like different dimension in the beginning to get by. But if they just had little monsters and stuff that would make them be used easier, Monarchs would have seen better play, like how they're going to be getting better play now. And I felt like if that's what would just happen from the get-go, everything would have been fine. So that's how I feel about that. So I just feel like, yes, I agree with you. They need better support. Lots of old archetypes. Okay. Just saw there was a video up and you took it down and I got to see Mirror Force for a bit. What was that about? LOL. Okay. I originally was going to upload today my top 10 favorite trap cards. And I noticed that there was a lot of background noise and a lot of things that made the video very distasteful, and I decided that I wasn't going to upload it and I was going to remake it because I think that you guys deserve better content than a lot of background noise and a lot of just sloppy behavior. So I decided that I was going to do that. So that's to answer that question. I wish no one noticed. Fuck. Alright, next. Have you ever thought about printing your cards from the Could This Be Meta segment and dueling each other with them? We have thought about it, but I have the shittiest grammar you could only imagine. And since you need periods and fucking commas all over the place when it comes to cards, and cards have to be so particular and you can't mess anything up, my grammar would break the game and I couldn't do that. So I have to just basically just talk about them and give you guys an opinion of what they would look like if they were created and how they would be played. I mean, unless you guys would want to turn them into real cards, maybe I could put them on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro or something, because I know that Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro or Dev Pro, there's some online site where you can make your own cards and use them. I don't remember what it was called though. But if you guys can make these cards a legit thing and tell me how to do it, I would do it and I would show you guys, and I would find that to be very fun. Okay. I know I've asked this question before, but how do I gain a higher fan base on my channel? I want my views and subscribers to vote / decide on what I should be playing. Alright. If you want a channel to really blow up, the first thing you have to do is not ask your fan base what they want, because they don't want, like, if I ask my subscribers and say, what do you guys want? I feel like, yeah, some of you guys would obviously answer me, but I have to just do what I do and have faith with what I do that you guys would like it, because that's why you guys subscribe. You guys subscribe because you like what I do and what Spidey does. And I feel like I've been the one that really, because behind the lines, the moral is if you find the channel, it was most likely probably through me, because most of the segments are through me. Most of my outside connections through YouTubers have been from me, and I feel like I'm the one that got the channel pretty much going. So I feel like another thing that I would recommend you to do is just be confident in your own ideas. Don't ask really for help from other people when it comes to, I mean, not in that regard, because don't ask other people like what should you be doing. You should just have faith in yourself that what you do, people will follow. And as time goes on, people will follow. In the beginning, you'll probably have a very slow rate, but if you're very determined, like how I was, you will eventually see a lot of progress. And then after you get a decent amount of progress, I would start branching off to other YouTubers that do a similar field like you and branch off for support. And as time goes on, helping each other, you get by. All right, next. What's your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh set and why? My favorite Yu-Gi-Oh set. I have a lot of memories with Crystal Beasts and Aliens coming out. I don't know about any others. I'd probably say the Hidden Arsenal 5, the one that came out with the Constellars, because I remembered when they first announced them. on DN, they took forever to come out, and when they finally came out, I was like all over them. And when I never really bought packs or bought boxes, but when the Constellas came out, I bought a box, and I didn't even want the Hidden Arsenal versions. I wanted the dual terminal versions, but I still did it because I wanted them badly. Alright, next. If you could create a Yu-Gi-Oh season like Zexal, how would it be? First of all, I don't like Zexal. Second of all, if I made a if I made a Yu-Gi-Oh season, I would probably, it's very difficult because I don't know how I would go about it. I would probably just want it to be very dark, because lately Yu-Gi-Oh seasons haven't been like that. I feel like only 5D and the original Yu-Gi-Oh took it to dark roads. I felt like, I don't know, I didn't feel GX or Zexal or Arc V really pushed the disturbed factor very much, and I'm a very creepy person, I guess, and I like disturbing stuff, and I mean, I like horror movies and stuff like that, so I feel like if they would, I'm not saying I want to see someone in Yu-Gi-Oh get killed, I want to see something disturbing, something different, something that would go, oh my god, this guy's like crazy, somebody stop him. And I feel like it's too childish, the game, for me right now, the show, so but that's what I would kind of be looking for. Okay. Next, do you agree that nowadays Yu-Gi-Oh artworks with Almighty Dragons and Warriors doesn't exist? I feel like they still make pretty good cards. I feel like Noble Knights were pretty cool warriors. And as for dragons, they haven't made any dragons in a while, but I feel like Dragon Rulers ran the world for so long that I feel like Konami's taken maybe a little bit of a break from dragons for a while, which I don't blame them, which I actually think is which is a good idea, because I feel like I'm sick of seeing dragons as well. But yeah, I feel like they still have it in them. I feel like they just haven't made any crazy new support in a while, that branching off to other things, which I actually think they should do. Like Gradles. Gradles are Aqua. Who fucking used Aqua? That's why I feel like it's fun. I feel like you need to let other archetypes, you know, shine for a little. Okay. What do you think will be the next evolution of Yu-Gi-Oh? The next evolution of Yu-Gi-Oh. What could be the evolution of Yu-Gi-Oh? I feel like they keep trying to make new mechanics, and I feel like they shouldn't do that. I feel like they're gonna make the game so confusing for the younger generations that they're not gonna be able to pick up decks that easily, unless they say, all right, I'm going to use synchros, and I don't know anything about XYZs, I don't know anything about pendulums, I don't know anything about such and such and such. And I feel like that's only going to confuse people along the road, but I don't know what the future of Yu-Gi-Oh will be. I just hope that Yu-Gi-Oh stays around for a long time. How long do you think Yu-Gi-Oh is going to last? I could see the show canceling. I could see a lot of events stopping, but I can always honestly see the ban list and sets being released. I can't see Konami cutting off sets from being created, because I feel like it would obviously keep selling, because there are a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players out there and they would obviously keep buying the packs. And I feel like the ban list will always keep people interested. So I feel like the Yu-Gi-Oh will always continue. However, I think the show will die out. I feel like a lot of things will die out. I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh could live on specials, like, you know, once in a while a thing of Yu-Gi-Oh animation would be made. And I feel like people would be happy with that. Alright, next. Do you think heroes can bounce back from their graves? Honestly, I hate so many hero players, because so many people are like, oh, Stratos, and I don't care. I feel like what they did with Stratos in the beginning, yeah, I felt like it was fucked up. I felt like Stratos didn't deserve it. Heroes weren't topping at the point when Stratos got banned. I didn't understand why Stratos got hit. But when they made Shadow Mist and Blazeman and made all of these quick play mash change support cards and Dark Law and all these great cards to the additions of just losing Stratos, I felt like, wow, you guys really don't need Stratos anymore. You got Shadow Mist, you got so much help You don't need Stratos anymore. I feel like hero players are just honestly very selfish now, and they're just like, we want this, we want this, we want that. You know what? I want a lot of things off the ban list too. You know, I love Formula Monarchs. I loved fucking Fishbowl Blaster rounds with fucking Formula Synchron going into fucking Stardust and shooting fucking Star Dragon, but it's like I can't have that, but I'm not going to keep bitching about it. I'm just going to be like, I'm going to move on. And I feel like hero players refuse to move on, and I feel like they're with their stupid hashtags like free Stratos, I don't care. So yes, I could see heroes coming back to their prime, but I feel like Stratos honestly won't do that for them, and I don't know why they're complaining. What's your opinion on Cosmos? They're annoying. Simple. I think they're annoying. I feel like I hate archetypes that could get around shit. It reminds me of Ritual Beast. I feel like set the fuck down. Okay. What's your opinion of the Clownblade engine in Necros and Shaddolls? I actually really like the Clownblade engine. However, I don't like seeing it in anything outside of just regular rank 4+ decks. I feel like I don't mind it in Necros because I feel like Necros needs something. Shaddolls I don't like. I never like Shaddolls. Anything to do with Shaddolls, if it makes them better, to hell with them. I want Shaddolls to burn, and I wish that the OCG would fucking rub off on the TCG. And that's it. Okay. Do you think some of the newer archetypes are going to get the Banhammer? I can't see Cosmos getting it. Gradles, it's hard because they all have the built-in Snatch Steal effect. I don't... Satellinites deserve it. Satellinites need the Banhammer. I honestly feel like Shaddol should get the Banhammer too. Quill Forts, I don't think that they're bad. I'm trying to think of any other. I know there's one more I'm forgetting. Quill Forts, Necros. Burning Abyss, that's it. I honestly don't think Burning Abyss are that crazy. So no, I don't really think that they deserve it. If you were to describe the countries of the world as archetypes, what would they be? All right, I'll do the United States and I'll do Canada because I'm not going to do everyone because I'm going to be here forever. All right, the United States would probably be Madochase, and Canada would probably what's a deck that really is just I'm trying to think, like Ice Barriers, and not because they're closer to Snow, I would probably just say because they're friendly and they don't do anything, so it's fucked up. But I'd probably say Canada's like Ice Barriers, so that's it. I'm gonna probably get a lot of hate from Canadians, especially you, Reggie. Alright, so what else? Where am I at? Okay, what do you think of the whole Medolius Melody, whatever the fuck they're called? They, I think, are really kind of crappy. I feel like Konami left them hanging, and I feel like I personally don't like them. I feel like they're pretty boring. The Medoliuses, I hate my grammar sometimes. It's just sometimes it's just hard for me to pronounce shit because I have very bad wording. In all of the dual terminal wars, which decks out of them would win? Ignoring the cards banned from that. Okay. The best in the dual terminal world would probably be... Ice Barriers were pretty crazy because fucking Trishula came out of nowhere and just froze the world. Yeah, I'd probably say Trishula. So Ice Barriers probably were the best in the dual terminal world if they were fighting. I'd probably say them. What normal monster card is your favorite? Gen Warp Werewolf. Gen Warp Werewolf was my favorite. I remember when that card first came out, I ran after it because I loved it. Does Lavalval Chain deserve to be banned? Personally, in my opinion, no. But the Daijin lock with Necros were really fucked up, and I felt like, yes, they needed to touch it. I felt like just hitting Daijin was good enough, but I would like to see Lavalval Chain come back, but hell, the only time will tell. Nothing stays on the ban list forever, so I could see it coming back. It's basically just Foolish Burial built into a monster. It's not that good. But I guess that they didn't want Clownblade going too off the wagon, so I guess in time, Lavalval Chain will come back, which would be fun. Dragon Ruler's full power versus Necros full power. I feel like Dragon Rulers would win. I felt like Dragon Rulers in that prime was very, very fast. Faster than Necros. And I felt like the lock with Daijin is gone. And I feel like Dragon Rulers would just fucking big eye everything, and they are full of beat sticks. So I feel like Dragon Rulers would win. Okay. Do you guys think Necros is the best deck still? Or do you think it's Burning Abyss? Or do you think any new deck will top in the upcoming decks that are spotting? Okay. I don't think Necros are the best deck anymore. I personally think Burning Abyss is probably the best. But that's my opinion. I honestly think that Necros are getting bashed into the ground. And I feel like, honestly, I feel like Satellite are pretty fucking OP. I feel like Satellite, Burning Abyss, and shit also better than Necros at the moment. But that's just me. That's just me. Then at the same time, you don't have to agree with me. What archetypes would you like to see a structure deck for? Ooh, that's a good question. That's a really good question. I really like that one. I want to think of an archetype that's pretty lackluster and would really be like crazy if it had a structure deck. It's really hard. I could see a Battery Man structure deck, and that'd be fun. Because I could see them giving a whole bunch of them, and they would OTK like crazy. I feel like that'd be fun. I would like to see a Battery Man structure deck. Okay. What's your opinion of decks that run 5 or more floodgates? Do you think it's catering to the meta / matchups? I don't like floodgate cards. I feel like I'm the kind of person where I feel like I just like playing a deck that I made from scratch, or I don't like to consider the meta game a part of my deck building. I feel like that's what the side decking is for. I feel like my deck personally, I feel like I want to make sure I could take care of everything. Because if a random scrub comes at me with fucking, I don't know, Fortune Ladies, or a Red Eyes deck comes out of nowhere, and I'm not countered for because I'm too busy worrying about Necros and Shaddolls and Burning Abyss, and I get my ass scrubbed out, it's my own fault because I wasn't able to worry about everything else. I feel like in Yu-Gi-Oh! You have to take in consideration everything, and I feel like I don't want to just focus on what's best because I want to worry about everything as a whole and come up with my own perfect thing to counteract everything. Okay. Next. What are your opinion on Magispectors? I personally don't like any Pendulum-based deck at the moment, and I feel like since they're Pendulums, I really don't pay them any mind. But I don't hate them. I just think that I just don't pay them any mind, and I feel like they're pretty okay, but I feel like they need better stuff. So. All right. What do you think of Ignites? They did all right in YCS. I feel like they're very plain, and I feel like honestly they're probably my favorites out of all Pendulums that are out at the moment. But I feel like they just have a very simple concept. You just put them in the Pendulum zone, you kill them, you just bring out more, kill them, and then spam the field. I felt like it's their levels that put them at a huge disadvantage because they can't really overlay. I feel like they need synchros or XYZs to be good, and I feel like they don't have it yet. Okay, next. In one episode of the show, the main characters had summoned their best signature card, Diverse Five-Headed Dragon, Kaiba and Joey. I don't get this. What would be the dragon that you would summon? Oh, the dragon I would summon. What would be the dragon I would summon? Summon Legendary Dragon of White. What's my favorite dragon? Yeah, it'd probably be Legendary Dragon of White. I like that dragon. If it's a match winner, I love it. Alright. Next. Have you ever tried the Gishki archetype? Yes, I have. I've tried it. It just didn't rub off on me very well. I was just like, not feeling you. And that was it. That was it. It was so quick. Okay. And do you ever do tag duels with Spidey? We have in the past, and we yell at each other. We always blame the other person for our shortcomings, and when we lose, we blame each other, and if we win, we take all the glory. And you'd be like, I'd be like, I won, and he'll be like, I won. So in the end, it's not very good if we have tag duels, because we're very selfish. Alright, we're almost done. Alright. Do you think that Konami should reboot older archetypes? We've been over this. Yes. Alright, next. Do you have any tips on making a deck faster. PS3 are awesome. Love your videos. Thank you. Alright, what I would recommend for people would be to make a deck faster. I believe it's all in draw power. Draw power and consistency. I love Toon Table. I love Upstart Goblin. I love a lot of archetypes that are fast. And I feel like speed just lets you get to your bigger plays faster. So I feel like that's what honestly really matters. So next question. Is it true that now working as a male stewardess to help pay for your cards? What? Is it true? Is it true you're now working as a male stewardess to help pay for your cards? No. The way I get money is I have a job. I'm not going to get into what it is because it's none of anyone's business but my own. So I feel like I just keep my money from working and I just build it up for a card that I want. Do you think you become a better player in the game but you have to lose first? Yes. I feel like you can't go into something thinking that you're amazing. You have to lose, and I'm the kind of person where anytime when I lose, I always look at why I lost and then try to get better from it. And I feel like the community kind of has to do that too. I feel like you have to sit down and say, why did you lose? Did you not have enough of this? Do you need more of this? If I had more of doing this quicker, would I win more? And I think you have to do it like that. And I feel like then you start to become better in the game. Not including Cyber Dragon Infinity, how do you feel about the Cyber Dragon archetype? I actually don't like it. I actually never liked it because my friend was such an asshole and he was always up Zane's dick and I hated it. And I feel like he was so annoying and it just left such a bad impression on me and I just didn't like it. Next, do you go to Spidey's stand-up gigs? Personally, I don't go out much, so I never really ever got to go to one of his stand-up gigs. I seen them on YouTube. I always told him to have them get filmed, and I'd watch them later. But me and Spidey just honestly have two different lives. We really don't get to see each other as much as we used to. Most of the time, I basically stay in Staten Island now, and he's in Queens, and we're pretty far away from each other. But we always see each other like once every month or two. And we just hang out. We just make videos for you guys, which we consider fun. Alright, next. We got two more left. What do you think about Perform Pal / Odd Eyes Magician archetypes from Mark B? I don't hate them, but I don't like them either. I feel like they're very and I feel like they just don't rub me the right way. Next. Any tips for tag dueling? Got a tournament soon and would like your advice. No, I'd probably run an independent deck and tell your friend or partner to run an independent deck and then just basically just come at your opponents just with your own type of strategies and not really rely on your opponent, because a lot of my decks really like hurt my opponent. Like, okay, I'm gonna play Frog Monarchs. You can't play Spells and Traps, or I can't use Treeborn Frog. So I feel like, yeah, I would probably recommend you to do that. So anybody else that had questions, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to discuss them. If you guys like the video and you guys really like this and would like to see more of these, leave a comment below of how you felt about this, and if you would like to see me do more questions and answers, I'll do them. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to watch the 2 previous videos, and I hope you guys enjoy your comments and the questions that I answered. If you guys would like to see more questions and answers and would like your questions to be answered, add the Facebook page, which is in the description below. And if you guys basically like the Facebook page, you can get in on 6-Path to Pain Challenge updates, any updates that Spidey does, me doing this randomly. So if you guys would like to see that, and I'm sorry for the top 10 favorite tribal cards, if you would like to see that, don't forget I'm going to be doing that soon. I just need to remake it, and I'll see you guys later. And don't forget to watch the 2 previous videos if you haven't already.